Hi everyone, here's a video answer key for the study guide for the second part of our Unit 4 test. Covers sections 4H through 4K over fractions. Alright, so our first problem is 2/5 plus 3/4. We're going to use 20th as our common denominator there. So we've got 2/5, we're adding 3/4. I'm going to change that to 20th. 4 times 5 is 20, so 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20, so 2 times 4 is 8. This is an addition problem. We'll add those two together and we get 23 over 20. That's an improper fraction. 20 can divide into 23 once with 3 left over, so 1 and 3/20. The answer here, 1 and 3/20. Second problem here, 8 and 9/11 minus 3 1/2. We're going to use 22 as our common denominator. Multiply 11 times 2 to get 22, so 9 times 2 is 18. 2 times 11 is 22, so 1 times 11 is 11. Subtraction problem, 18 minus 11 gives us 7. Denominator stays 22. And 8 minus 3 is 5. Can't reduce, so our answer is 5 and 7 over 22. Alright, number 3. We've got 6 and 7/8, and we're adding 1/3. Common denominator will be 24. Multiply 8 times 3 to get 24. 1 times 8 is 8. 8 times 3 to get 24. 7 times 3 is 21. This is an addition problem, so add, and we get 29 over 24. 6 plus 0 is 6. 24 can divide into 29 one time with 5 left over. We can't reduce 5/24, but we can combine 6 plus 1 to get 7 and 5/24. Okay, problem number 4. 4 minus 2 and 2/9. So 4 minus 2 and 2/9. We can't take 2/9 away from 0. There's a 0 here, so we have to borrow. This would become 3, and we'll name that fraction 9/9 because we want common denominators there. So 9 minus 2 gives us 7 over 9, and 3 minus 2 gives us 1, so we've got 1 and 7/9. Alrighty, number 5. 5 and 2/5 minus 2 and 4/5. We already have a common denominator, so we don't have to worry about that. We can't take 4 away from 2, so we borrow, add the value of the denominator to the numerator. So that's 7. 4 from 7 is 3. We've got 3/5 here, and 4 minus 2 is 2, so our answer is 2 and 3/5. Alrighty, number 6. We've got 12 and 2/3, and we're adding 8 and 4/7. Common denominator for 3 and 7 is 21. 3 times 7 is 21, 2 times 7 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21, 4 times 3 is 12. We're adding, so we've got 14 plus 12, and we get 26 there. 8 and 12 is 20. 21 divides into 26 one time with 5 left over. Add 20 and 1, and we've got 21 and 5/21. Our answer there. Alright, number 7. Okay, number 7 is 8/9 plus 2/3. Common denominator for 9ths and 1/3 would be 9. 9 will work nicely, and we don't need to change that top fraction. Multiply by 3 here, and we get 6/9. We're adding. 8 and 6 is 14 over 9. 9 divides into 14 one time with 5 left over, so 1 and 5/9 is our answer here. Alrighty, we've got 4 and 2/5 minus 1 and 5/6. We'll use 30 as our common denominator. 5 times 6 is 30, so 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times 5 is 30, 5 times 5 is 25. We are subtracting, so we have to borrow from the 4 and make that a 3. We add the value of the denominator to the numerator, so 12 plus 30 gives me 42. We're subtracting 25 from 42 then, and we get 17 over 30. 3 minus 1 is 2, so we've got 2 and 17/30ths for our answer there. All right, 4 1/4 plus 2/3. Use 12 as our common denominator. Multiply 3 by 4 to get 12, so 1 by 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 4 is 8. We're adding, so we add 8 and 5, and we get, 8 and 3, and we get 11/12. 4 plus 0 is 4, so our answer is 4 11/12. All right, number 10. 10 minus 7 2/7. Now, a common error here is that people just bring down the 2/7, but we've got to subtract 2/7 from something. So we have to borrow. This is 9, and we'll call that fraction 7/7 because we want common denominators here. So 7 minus 2 is 5/7. 9 minus 7 is 2, so we've got 2 and 5/7 here. And you can see with all my work, it's important to circle my answers so that we don't get confused there. All right, 9 1/3 minus 4 2/3. Nice thing here is that we don't have to get a common denominator. We've already got one. We do have to borrow because we're subtracting and we can't take 2 away from 1. So this is 8. Add the value of the denominator to the numerator, so that's 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Denominator is 3. 8 minus 4 is 4. So our answer is 4 2/3. Alrighty, and then our last one on this page, 13 1/4 plus 7 1/6. Common denominator for 4ths and 6, 12 works nicely. 4 times 3 is 12, 1 times 3 is 3. Oops, sorry, that should be 12 there. Times 2 times 2, and we are adding. So we've got 3 and 2 gives us 5. Common denominator of 12. 13 and 7 gives us 20. And so we are at 20 5/12. All right, that's page 1 of your study guide, folks. Look at the next video for page 2.